Works out, because I just started recording as well, because you said yes.
Perfect. Big brain. We'll figure out how to get my stuff sent over to the channel, whatever, later.
Oh,
I don't know how long it was. I can just check.
It's
like 50 minutes.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Happy to have you with us. Let's see. Details. It is 44 minutes. Okay. Not too terrible. I thought I was dead ass ready for it to be like 1 hour and 20 minutes. I'm like, God damn it.
But yeah, out of the and 20 minutes, because it's like, it's not that far off.
And 20 minutes. I feel like at the 1 hour threshold is when YouTube starts getting fucky. But that's besides the point. So, there are plenty of other you in this party that are Nevros. A lot of you, I would say.
Yep. She just sort of waves her hand off to like the other party members.
Polis is going to talk to every single one of you. How much do you divulge to her? How much can you divulge to her? She wants to know everything. So?
Silas tells her that her parents were in a tribe, but they were always in the Heartlands. So.
Alright, that makes sense, given the Heartlands is open nature. There's no passing down the traditions or anything?
Not really. They left shortly after I was dropped off as a baby.
Alright. Just writes it down. Just writes it down. What say the rest of you? Silence.
Oh, sorry, I think you go.
Imagine being nervous and having to tell her the bullshit.
Very simple. If she approached Redain and asked her questions, you would just simply state, I don't have a tribe. I've never worshipped a fell god. I am not Nevros, despite my appearance.
Huh. So you're a properly assimilated Nevros then. Okay. Interesting. Writes it down anyways. There's still some prominent cases. In fact, I'd say
literally
on closer inspections, the most prominent cases of being Nevros.
Come on, children, your turn to talk.
So, Sajar would simply say that, yes, my family has been in the exchange for many generations now.
Eastern Nevros. Alright. Any particular familial or tribal rituals or anything?
I suppose adventuring is the family business.
Is that brought on by some genetic or lineage-based call, or is that just a familiar occupation?
A bit of both. One necessitates the other.
Write that down. Interesting. Well, that would explain... Never mind.
No, go on. That's very interesting.
I just have a theory that I've been... it's just a theory right now. But I noticed that there's a very interesting... According to old stories and legends and tales, and more recent ones, that Nevros people have a high proclivity for an adventuring lifestyle. I'm wondering if that's brought on and due in some part to where they're from. Maybe it's just cultural familiarity. Maybe it's something based upon tribal familial gestures that's the jar. Occupation being passed down onto the next generation. Or some other thing.
Could it be...
Well, if it changes your theory at all, we are all, in my family, sorcerers. All of us.
Well, that's expected of Nevros. I'm sorry, Miss Ariana, what were you saying?
I was saying I have food in my mouth.
Sucks. You
Or
speak of that must
breakfast
speak.
burrito.
Hush.
Or I was a breakfast burrito. You guys passed by a food stall or a food stand on the way over. That was making them right on the
Don't judge
street.
me, they're delicious.
Yes, that's canon now.
Nice.
Why do
Love
these
that.
French people have breakfast burritos? Shut the fuck up. That's why.
They're delicious.
Honestly, though, a breakfast burrito is like something a soldier would want to take
Yeah.
around. Like it
It's
lasts
just
a while.
simple and filling,
Yeah.
and it contains itself. Anyways,
Make me nauseous.
Oriana
Well, you're
over
not
here
allowed.
talking about the wonders of a breakfast burrito. Is it possible that it's just simply the you're noticing the differences between provincial lifestyle versus Nevros lifestyle?
No, I'm not comparing exactly just Nevros to other humans in the provinces. I'm comparing it across multiple races. Elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings, so on and so forth. Out of game, this is a statistic that I have been running. You guys really like playing races. In fairness, Nevros covers other races, ASMR, tieflings, tabaxi, right? But it is still a statistic.
It's abnormally high.
I thought Neveros were like non-elves and human.
What an elf thing to say.
No. Nevros is a culture. It's sort of like the most analogous thing is Judaism. Although it's not so set on its religious tenets like Judaism is. Being Nevros is just demarcated by simply a couple of factors. You worship a fell god, and you're from the north. If that. That's the thing. Elves don't have Nevros. In Gathaltha lore, the land of elves, there are no Nevros. None. They never showed up. They were never brought over. They didn't show up or like spontaneously happen as a cultural similarity. Nothing. Nevros are a distinctly provincial issue, race, culture, however you want to call it. Nevros can include large number of races: humans, orcs, Goliaths, so on. Dragonborn, ASMR, tieflings, tabaxi. Because all these phenotypical, these genetic outsets, you would call them, are brought on by worship of a fell god. That's what makes a Nevros. Worshipping a fell god. At least according to provincial lore. Because in Ten County, elves worship fell gods too, but they don't turn into Nevros. They just are elves. It's a cultural difference. So, there you go. And that's what Tolas is extolling upon.
Yeah, so the last thing Sajar would tell us is that if you stick around and a bit more trust is nurtured, then perhaps I'll tell you more.
It sounds like I gotta earn your trust then. Can't wait.
Everybody does.
She nods. Fair enough. She immediately goes back to her little group and begins paging through the notes that she took of conversations, gives the book over to Vaso, and then goes right over to Brendan. And just sort of teeters back and forth on her heels as you guys are walking, in a happy-go-lucky way.
Brendan does the introverted thing of, I'm just gonna make myself look a slight bit smaller and hope she goes away and doesn't talk to me.
She smiles brightly at you as you do so. So, you're the last one. And if you don't want to answer, that's fine. But I do want to know. Because you're pretty distinct looking.
It's a fashion statement. As it grows out and covered by hair.
It's a fashion statement.
Right.
I do it the aesthetics.
Sure. And would your fashion statement have any, I don't know, philosophical, religious, or otherwise tenets that you might clue me in on? As a fashion statement, that is.
I mean, is fashion any type of statement if it's not some type of state overbearing authority?
You're just a very poor province to attempt a fashion statement like this.
Listen, there's worse ones. I'm where I am, and that's all.
She bows her head. Fair enough. I do hope in time that you will tell me, though.
That seems more unlikely than Nevros becoming an accepted culture and being treated with the proper respect as people that they are.
Looks every day. Well, that one's a bit closer than you think. And she just walks back.
Yeah.
And Vasu just, you know how like you can like fling a basketball at someone, like your ball, like fuck you, your ball.
Yeah.
That's what he does with the spell book. He just flicks it at Tolis with not a light amount of force. Tolis, can you make me a strength saving throw? Thank you.
Is it bad that I want a 1?
Just
Tolis
one
has
straight
like
on ours.
a +0 strength.
Oh no.
Hey, that's better than I thought.
Yep.
To Tolis' credit, they do catch the book. Unfortunately, they don't hinder the momentum as it slams them on their ass.
Are you okay down there?
You know, they say time in prison is supposed to make you stronger. Not me.
Ariana offers a hand up.
Thank you. She takes it.
Yeah. Woof.
Ow. Rubs her chest where she caught impact of the book.
How dense is this book?
The book itself, it's, let's see, it's the size of a monitor, as thick as, gosh, I don't have a good common reference.
Jesus.
It's a whole ass tome. Like, it is a whole ass tome.
Yeah.
It's a thick book. Yeah.
Big chunker.
Compared to their torso, like, is it thicker than their torso?
It's not thicker than their torso, no, but
Okay.
it does occupy a majority percentage.
Could be used as a shield, is what I'm hearing.
Could Tolis use it to block someone trying to stab them? Yes.
Where and why did you get this size of a book, anyways?
I didn't really have much of a choice.
Hmm.
Dusting off themselves and the book.
Is that right?
More or less, yeah. I was just sort of given it. I mean, it's great. It's not indestructible.
But it's definitely not light.
No. No.
I feel like that book probably took chunk out of you, yes? My goodness.
I think I got a dent.
Yes, I can see that.
And where was it given to you from?
And what, the previous owner didn't think that a smaller sized tome would be efficient.
Well, a tome like this can't be shrunken down. The magic working on it to protect it. It wouldn't fit. Not without even higher craftsmanship. That's where I got it. Looks over Dan. Sort of, I don't know what this motion's called. It's like, you run a rhythm across your fingers, like when you're like tapping on a surface, like making like a wave, like a.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the term is for that.
I feel like the wave is a good description.
Yeah, wave of the fingers tapping the book. There you go. The book's cover. Tolis does that. I guess you'd sort of call them a deva, or maybe a daemon. Daemon, not demon. There's a difference.
I was going to say.
I think that's a religion check, right?
Yeah, it would be a religion check.
Alright, cool. I'll just botch one of these real fast. Or just get 19.
Oh.
Sure.
Hey, can I roll one as well?
You can roll one as well, sure. If anyone wants to roll, be my guess. I would just say there's harder DCs depending on which one of you's rolling, because some of you have a way more familiar time with it.
Yeah. But if you
Like,
got attempt.
I think Sajar would probably have.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say Sajar would have a decently low DC, not that decently low, I'm afraid.
So is it
okay,
Damon, like
Fred.
Daemon?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Daemon.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's
Ooh!
Look at you.
Ooh!
Well,
Nat
hello.
20s.
Oh!
Dealing your luck.
I forgot about this.
I can
shit,
open all
so I
my
got
folders
23.
again. Yes. Yes, I had them hidden away just in case.
Look at all
Because
these
we're recording.
good rolls aside from 2.
Alright, let's see.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Excuse me.
Dragon.
Yeah, why you single him out, bro? Don't single him out.
I'm not singling him out. I'm singling him and Silas out.
Oh,
I
There's
didn't
a
expect
difference.
anything at all to come from my roll, so
see, that's the
Same.
winning answer. Just don't expect
Wait, hold
victory, and everything will go well.
All right. So we definitely need to keep Lambert with us because none of us are good at religion. And
That's
also, in
crazy,
fact,
man.
most of us
Imagine
are pretty
having some
stupid.
sort of chaplain that would be good for religion. That's
I
crazy.
know.
He has a
Besides
+4.
Deet.
That's
See,
crazy,
that's-
man. That's crazy, man. So, alright, let's take a look here. I will give the following information to Anna, Redane, Deed, obviously, Brendan. What Tolis just listed are technically two... They're the same categorization. They're both celestial. But they're just sort of two offspins of it. Deva is... How to describe it? I'll start with Damon first, because I think that's a more simple one to describe. A Damon, true to what they were termed in real life before the term demon got combined with it.
Bastardized.
Yeah. No, demon was entirely different thing. Demon and daemon were two separate categorizations.
Oh,
A
that's
demon was something more malicious and evil from hell or beyond. A daemon is a good thing. I believe it was the Greeks, unsurprisingly, that had daemons, which were sort of like muses, in a way. These were beings that proliferate creativity and intellect. They were good spirits that lived in you. As evil as the living in you part sounds, that is what they believed, if I remember my history correctly. So daemons are
It's
relatively...
definitely Greek, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Boom, noted. Yeah. So daemons are more peaceable, is a better way to describe it.
Right.
A Dave, on the other hand, is a bit more... I don't know how to describe them. A bit more prophetic, I guess is how was my understanding of them. They grant visions. Don't get me wrong, a daemon can grant visions too, but the form that daemons grant visions is something like, this is what your art piece should look like. This is what the song should sound like. And so on. A Deva will show you a prophetic vision of something, and who knows what that shit is. It's vague, it's blurry.
Interpretation.
Yeah. Devas are known to act in the force of good. They are celestials. But the methodologies of them are a bit veiled, cryptic, enigmatic. And Devas themselves have many a form, and they are not afraid of taking the battlefield. If needed. Whereas daemons sort of just inhabit in you and just give you good ideas.
Right. So, interesting. So when it comes to the like, I don't want to say tier list, the ranking of like angel, saint, god, like where do they?
These are independent of provincial faith.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like a keyring isn't accounted for in the provincial faith. Right? Unicorns, which shouldn't be celestials, they should be fairies, by the way. But if we were to use the book's incorrect categorization, yeah, that's not covered in provincial faith either.
I feel
Right.
like
So what Tolis is basically saying, I was given this book by the motivations of an angel of another religion. If that's like more layman's way of saying it.
Right.
Right? Versus Christianity versus Judaism versus Hinduism versus Shinto and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, so follow-up question. What is like the reaction from provincials when they hear this kind of information typically? Because it doesn't sound like a malicious fell god, but it definitely sounds like fell god shit.
Well, that's the thing. They're not deities.
Right.
They're just sort of around. They act upon the force of good. So to provincials, I think that can change depending on the provincials. Some are just like, whatever. They're not as powerful as our gods, and they don't claim to be. They're not trying to be false idols nor usurpers, so that's fine.
Logical.
Or it's a matter of, yeah, but they're not ours, so they still are dirty, and you shouldn't listen to them.
Okay. Interesting.
It changes from perspective to perspective. It depends on how, I guess, traditionalist you would say you are. Because that is a thing, especially these days. Learning other religions, facets, tenets, rituals, and practices. That is a thing that's happening. Maybe not in the terms of following that new religion, but at least learning about them. That is a more modern thing in the setting. Versus before, it's nerf or nothing, provincials or nothing, you know. One or the other.
Fucking nerf or nothing.
So yeah, it's up to you how you determine how faithful listening to such creatures are. I will say, Tolis isn't saying that one of these creatures gave it to them. Could be worse, yeah. Totally.
Oh yeah, there's a lot worse, Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan wouldn't know anything about worse, but there could be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, completely unbiased. There's definitely worse.
No. But yeah, Tolis isn't saying that a Deva or a Daemon gave it to them, but their motivations did interact with their acquisition of this book. And that's all she said. That's all she wrote.
So you have people that talk to you and give you things that aren't exactly...
They don't exactly talk to me, no. They talk to my mentor.
Alright. But they still act upon you.
Drugs.
Huh.
That's a question of providence and free will at that point, which isn't what I'm trying to get about my life for.
Interesting.
Mildly
Interesting.
ironic.
Goes back to cowering under hood.
I just realized I should just call it the good book in Tolis' inventory.
Yes.
And then it's up to you. And then it's up to whatever religion, or the religion that the person reading it follows to determine if it is the good book or not. It does have spellbook written in multiple languages on it, so multilinguistic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Changing that
book
name.
about good. It might not be a good book.
It's not a good read, that's for sure.
As written in multiple languages.
It is written in multiple languages. The good book. Alright, add an entry into inventory. Let's go.
Might I see that for a second?
Sure. Just hands it over to you.
Could open it up to a page. Is it readable?
It's legible. It is written in common. Well, it's written in arcane language, which uses common characters. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Magic.
And these words were on here the whole time?
No, when I got the book, it was empty. I've been filling it in.
He points to the cover.
I...
Hmm.
Spellbook, yeah?
It is said that many celestials speak in the language of all people. Perhaps that is the incantation that's led to so many different languages being placed on it.
A shrug. Maybe.
Makes sense to me.
I don't really know. But I'd be happy to learn and find out.
I applaud your studious nature. There's a lot of dedication in that.
Really? I don't think so.
You wouldn't catch me writing that much.
See?
Or putting that much dedication into it.
Not everyone would travel through the planet just to find out this information.
I know.
Aye, but... Aren't you all doing something similar for a different reason, though? Is it so hard to believe?
It's not hard to believe. It's just surprisingly uncommon from my experience.
What is it you believe we are doing?
I believe you're going on an adventure. Am I wrong?
I cannot speak for everyone.
It's a simplified, romanticized version of it, but I suppose you're not entirely wrong.
Yes, we are, experiencing adventure, I suppose, in a broad sense.
Got my book back.
No!
He just hands it over.
Thanks.
Looks at everyone. Why did you all come here?
Who are you?
Are we outside of town by now, or are we at the gates?
I think you guys are approaching the gates by this point. Traffic in and out of the gate isn't, it's not a constant flow, not by any means, nor do you even see that many people. There are a couple of people coming in or going out, few and far in between. Like, you could see the last person that left is down the road. Several hundred feet down the road, if not further. Way over there. That was the last person that left town. Yeah. Traffic is not that common going
Are
east.
they doing checks on people coming in and out?
They are now. Given last night's events.
Ah, okay. I got my papers, we're good.
Mm.
I don't know if all of us do.
Sorry,
Stick a trench coat and a fake moustache on you, you'll be fine.
As with many other, if not all other, checkpoints in town, it is manned by both Hillandic Guardsmen and the West Levy Foreign Legionnaires. You're not gonna go through two separate checks, don't worry.
Yeah, they're just making sure that the other one doesn't have extreme bias.
Not so overtly, but yes. It is a West Levyman joined by another, so two, that is standing watch at the gate, the one doing the inspections. From here at this gate, you can see one of the West Levy war camps outside of town. It's not on the road, not like right next to it at least. It does have an offshoot trail leading up to it, probably caused by either semi-purposeful as well as just frequent traffic, stomping down the grass and weeds and so on. But it is out there, and it's very visible. One of a few around town.
I'll make sure we head towards the West Levy.
You have to take a detour off the road if that's the case. It's just obvious because you could see the tops of watchtowers poking up through the trees, smoke and so on.
If we have to go out through the gate, make sure we interact with the West Levy.
Yeah, so the gate we'll say is
yeah,
here, and then the West Levy is barely peeking up on the map over here. Red.
Yeah.
Make it
I think
thick.
he's just saying, if the Hilllanders are on the right side of the gate, West Levy on the left,
Correct.
lean the horses towards the left side.
Well, no, it's as of right now, it's only two West Levymen at the gate itself.
Oh,
Oh, perfect.
It's not. Let me put it like this: these two guys at the gate aren't the only ones on watch right now. They're just the ones doing the checkpoint inspections. If you look above on the catwalks and stuff like that, there's a bunch of guys around. But I don't think you guys are gonna shout up to the 30-some troops up there to talk to them right now.
Hey guys!
The cat call at you.
Oh,